What the hell is going on with Jason Tatum? And why did he vanish when Boston needed a leader the most? This wasn't just a loss. This was a collapse. Public, painful, and symbolic in every possible way. TD Garden didn't just go silent after the Celtics blew Game 2 to the Knicks. It screamed. Literally, alarms blared, lights flashed, and within minutes the arena was evacuated like a disaster site. And maybe, in some twisted, poetic way, that's exactly what it was. Jason Tatum never showed up to the post-game presser. Not because he didn't want to, but because he couldn't. A technicality? Maybe. But it felt like something deeper. Almost like the universe itself forced the mic away from him. And here's the kicker. Even if he had shown up, what the hell would he have said? He looked like a man unraveling, from playoff god to ghost in green. It's hard to believe that just a week ago, Tatum was getting whispered about in the same breath as Larry Bird. He had just torched the Magic in the first round, dropping 35 points in 3 straight games, hitting every free throw like it was scripted, and putting on an efficiency masterclass. The numbers were absurd. 31.3 points, 11.3 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 60.7% true shooting, MVP-level stuff, dominance, swagger, control. Now, he looks like a man being swallowed by the moment. In Game 1 against New York, he shot a shaky 7 for 23. Bad but forgivable. Stars have off nights. Game 2, though, that was something else. Tatum started 1 for 7, had just 2 points at halftime, and finished 5 of 19 from the field. The aggression that defined his rise? Gone. The confidence that carried him to a championship last year? Missing. His body language screamed frustration. His face? Stone cold. Jaw clenched. Eyes narrowed. Not locked in. Locked out. And then came the final possession. Boston was clinging to a 1-point lead after Tatum threw down a thunderous dunk with 18.5 seconds left. He had the ball in his hands. Everything set up for redemption. But instead of controlling the moment, he panicked, ignored the timeout, drove blind into a collapsing defense, and threw it right to Mikal Bridges. Just like that, the game was gone. Another possession, another blown opportunity. Back-to-back games without even getting a shot off in the final seconds. And the fans, they felt it. The entire city of Boston felt it. He passed up shots he could have taken. Mazzulla doesn't hide the frustration. Joe Mazzulla, who usually leans Zen Master, even in chaos, didn't hold back. After Game 1, he gave Tatum a pass, saying the looks were fine. After Game 2, not so much. I thought, in Game 2, he passed up some ones that he was able to take. That's coach speak for. He choked. Tatum didn't just miss shots. He avoided them. He hesitated. He froze. And that might be the scariest thing of all, because now the defending champs are down 2-0, heading into the Garden of Nightmares, Madison Square Garden, where the crowd will smell blood. Only 4 teams in NBA history have come back from a 2-0 hole with home court advantage, and this version of Boston doesn't look like number 5. Not right now. The weight of a fractured crown. Let's call it what it is. Tatum looks pissed. Not fired up, not locked in. Pissed. Like someone who doesn't want to be in front of cameras, who doesn't want to talk, who might be more angry at himself than anyone else, but who's now stuck in a media storm that's turning into a hurricane. And honestly, that silence might be saying more than any post-game quote ever could. He's never been the rah-rah leader. That's always been more Jalen's lane. But this version of Tatum? The cold stare, the silent walk off the court, the media no-show under the excuse of a fire alarm. It's giving meltdown. It's giving burnout. It's giving this SAT is falling apart. And I don't know how to stop it. Jalen still believes. Should we? Jaylen Brown tried to hold the line. His message post-game was calm, but defiant. Obviously, being down 2-0 sucks. But we got a great group, and if I had to select any guys to get it done, it's the group that we have in our locker. Room, respect. But even that felt like a guy trying to talk himself into it. Because the truth, Boston's not just losing on the scoreboard, they're losing their identity, their edge, their leader. And here's the uncomfortable question. What if Tatum's not that guy anymore? Are the Celtics throwing it all away? This might be the most embarrassing collapse in years. How does a championship-caliber team fall apart this fast? How do you go from being the NBA's most dominant roster to playing like a confused group of strangers under playoff pressure? The Boston Celtics aren't just in trouble, they're flirting with catastrophe. And what we witnessed Wednesday wasn't just a loss, it was a disgrace. After dispatching the Orlando Magic with ease in the first round, Jason Tatum spoke about playing carefree basketball. Winning that elusive title last season had supposedly lifted the weight of expectation off his shoulders. That psychological cloud had cleared, but now a new storm has rolled in, and this one is darker, heavier, potentially fatal to this team's golden window. Boston is staring down the barrel of a sweep. At home, no one, not even the harshest Celtics critic, saw this coming. But maybe we should have. Maybe the warning signs were there all along, hiding behind a regular season full of blowouts and highlight reels. Now, those same Celtics are being thoroughly outplayed by a Knicks team with less talent, fewer stars, but a hell of a lot more heart. And that might be the most damning indictment of all. Twice now, Boston has built 20-point leads. And twice, they've watched them evaporate, not through some stroke of bad luck or heroic buzzer beaters. No, through stupid, preventable, soul-crushing mistakes. This isn't just a matter of poor execution. It's strategic malpractice. It's a coaching staff refusing to adjust, players freezing in critical moments, and an organization sleepwalking toward disaster. Let's talk about Joe Mazzulla. In what universe does a coach hold on to a timeout during a collapsing fourth quarter while the opposing team is on a rampage? As if it were some kind of personal souvenir, that timeout could have stopped the bleeding, it could have allowed the team to regroup, settle down, or even advance the ball for a cleaner final shot. Instead, it remained unused, forgotten, like common sense on that Boston sideline. And this isn't just about one timeout. It's about the entire philosophy of this team in clutch situations. Why are they repeatedly failing to get a shot off in the final seconds? How does a team with two $50 million stars look completely lost with the game on the line? Jaylen Brown, visibly frustrated, admitted it himself. 2 games, we were up 20 points, and somehow we come out not with wins. It's inexcusable. He's absolutely right. But here's the problem. They already failed to learn from Game 1, and repeating the same collapse in Game 2 isn't just inexcusable, it's unforgivable. The narrative is shifting fast. Just days ago, we were wondering if this Celtics squad might become a dynasty. Now we're wondering if they're even capable of surviving the second round. And let's not sugarcoat it. The Knicks have been better, smarter, tougher, more composed. They've stepped up in big moments while Boston melted. But let's zoom in on the real gut punch, Jason Tatum. This was supposed to be his year, the season where he silenced every critic, rose to the top of MVP discussions, and chased immortality by stepping into the same breath as Larry Bird. And what do we have? Instead, Tatum is shooting a ghastly 28.6% from the field, and an even worse 25% from 3 in this series. He didn't take a single question after the latest loss, didn't address the media. His press conference was literally interrupted by a fire alarm. Symbolic maybe, but he's been invisible when it matters most, on the court and off. What's really going on with Kristaps Porzingis? And how much longer can the Celtics afford to pretend everything's fine? The Boston Celtics aren't just losing games, they're unraveling. And in the eye of this storm stands Kristaps Porzingis, a brilliant, towering talent whose body is failing him at the worst possible time. But this isn't just about bad luck. This is starting to feel like denial, dangerous denial. When Brian Windhorst, a reporter known for his caution and connections, says Kristaps Porzingis is not right and implies something deeper than a cold or the flu, it's time to stop brushing it off. This isn't just another postseason bump. This is a crisis hiding in plain sight. Porzingis didn't start Game 2. He looked visibly depleted, moving like a ghost of the player who dominated early in the season. After the game, his words weren't those of an athlete nursing a minor illness. They were the words of a man tormented by his own body. "It's killing me that this is coming back around," he said. That phrase alone sends shivers. What exactly is coming back? This isn't the first time he's been sick this season, but this time it's different. It's vague, mysterious. The team's silence is deafening. No diagnosis, no timeline, just whispers. And that silence opens the door to speculation, fear, and doubt, especially with the Celtics now down 0-2 and heading to Madison Square Garden. This is no longer just about a player missing time. This is about a team being stripped of its rhythm, spacing, and psychological edge. Porzingis, when healthy, is a nightmare matchup for any opponent. His ability to stretch the floor, protect the rim, and finish inside completely changes Boston's offense and defense. Without him, at full strength, the Celtics lose their tactical flexibility. They lose their anchor, and they lose the fear factor. What's worse, by forcing Porzingis onto the court at half speed, the Celtics may be making two errors at once, hurting the player and sabotaging the team. A 7'3" big man with no legs and no wind is not just ineffective. He becomes a liability. And yet, Boston continues to act like 50% of Kristaps is enough. But is it? Or is this desperation disguised as strategy? Let's be honest. The Celtics are not the same team without him. And no, this isn't just about missed threes or end-of-game execution. This is about energy, leadership, confidence. Boston missed 45 three-pointers in Game 1 and blew a 20-point lead twice. These aren't just execution errors, these are mental collapses triggered by instability. The kind of instability that grows when your second most important player is a walking question mark. And we need to say this out loud. It's stupid to keep pretending this is sustainable. Kristaps Porzingis is an all-star talent, no question. But he's also a player with a long injury history. And now, an illness nobody seems able to explain. How do you build a championship campaign around a core that includes a ticking time bomb? That's not just risky, that's reckless. Brian Windhorst brought up a chilling point. Boston is one of the most advanced medical cities in the world. If they've consulted every top doctor and still don't know what's going on, what does that tell us? Either this is something truly rare and serious, or the team is hiding information. Neither scenario inspires confidence. Think about the long-term implications. If the Celtics bow out those Curly, swept or beaten in 5, everything changes. The glow of last year's title dims. The front office starts looking at contracts. The locker room begins to fracture. And suddenly, that dream of a modern-day dynasty becomes a fading memory.